make white chicken chili. It's really simple, packed with protein, and nice and comforting on a cold winter's day. The recipe will be at pouchfriendly.com and the link will be over on the side. I hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you think. The ingredients for white chicken chili are chicken breast, corn, onion, chicken broth, salt, pepper, olive oil, garlic, chili powder, cumin, cilantro or oregano, great northern beans, green chilies, and flour. Okay, I've had my pan heating up for a little while. Add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Diced onion. I'm going to let the onion soften up a little bit, and then I'm going to add the garlic. My onions have been cooking over a medium-high heat for probably about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to add my garlic. I like to let the onions cook for a little while first so that they have a chance to get soft, because the garlic cooks up quicker. It's smaller, so it cooks up quicker. And then you avoid the garlic getting too bitter before the onions have a chance to get soft. Okay. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of flour in the bottom of the pan. Let this cook. I'm going to stir it around, let it cook for a couple minutes just to get the flour taste out of it. And that's going to help thicken up our chili. A little bit more olive oil, give some fat, give the flour some fat to cook in. Just keep stirring it around until it gets a brownish, golden color, light gold. I add my chicken now that the flour has gotten brown. And if you already have cooked chicken, you can do that. You just won't have to cook your chili as long. You can use turkey, chicken, ground meat, a ground chicken or ground turkey. And I'm just going to cook, let this cook in here, stir it around for just a little while, get a little bit of color on the chicken. I don't want it to sit still long because of the onions and flour and garlic got in there. Okay, the chicken's been cooking for a while. I kept stirring it. I'm going to add chicken broth. I'm just going to stir across the bottom in case any of the flour or onions or anything stuck to the bottom. I want to get that up. And it's just a matter of adding the rest of your ingredients. There's some corn. This was frozen. You can use canned or fresh if you're so inclined. A can of chilies undrained. Great northern beans, a can of that, undrained. If you're watching your sodium, you can certainly go ahead and drain these, and that'll cut some of the salt down. And then the other can of beans, I'm just going to mash up with my fork a little bit, and that's going to help my chili get a little thicker also. And I'm just using the tines of the fork, pushing the beans up against the side of the can. And that way that opens up the beans and lets the starch out into the chili. Pour some of it out so I can really get in there and mash up the rest. Alright. That'll work. And chili powder. Now this is a cheaper chili powder, so I'm using more chili powder than probably most folks would. So if you have a better chili powder, then you don't have to go as heavy. Plus I like the taste. Cumin. And again, you can find the recipe at pouchfriendly.com, and the link's on the side. And cilantro leaves. The original recipe calls for oregano, and somehow I'm out of oregano, so I'm just going to use some cilantro leaves. A little bit of salt. Not too much salt because of the beans and the chicken broth. So I'm going to taste it in a little while to see how it is, and then I can add more salt if I need to. Generous black pepper. Now at this point, if you want it thinner, you can add some more chicken broth or water. If you want it thicker, you can make a quick slurry with a little bit of flour and cold water. Just whisk it up real quick with a whisk and put it in there while the water is boiling. Or you could also use cornstarch to make it a little thicker. But it will thicken a little bit as it cooks, as those beans start to break down. And since the chicken that I used wasn't cooked, I'm going to let this cook for about 35-40 minutes or so that the chicken gets nice and tender and everything comes together.